A great-grandmother, a downtown chef, a tennis lover, a school board employee, a college student, and visitors from Jordan and Korea. These are some of the lives tragically taken when a rental van deliberately drove along a crowded North York sidewalk, killing 10 pedestrians and injuring 14 others Monday afternoon. The names and faces of the dead have begun to emerge as family and friends take to social media to express their sadness and anger in the wake of the deadly attack. "Thanks to you, I had to tell my 3 children and my wife that because of you they will no longer get to talk to Nan on their birthdays or Christmas," Elwood Delaney wrote in a message on Facebook directed at the van's driver. Dorothy Sewell was killed in the van attack on April 23, 2018 in Toronto. Facebook. The Kamloops, BC, man describes his grandmother, Dorothy Sewell, 80, as an avid sports fan who almost had as much love for the Blue Jays and Leafs as she did for her family. The accused driver, Alex Manasjian, of Richmond Hill, faces 10 counts of first-degree murder and 14 counts of attempted murder. Toronto police allege the 25-year-old man, who has been described as odd by those who have known him, rented a Ryder van north of the city and headed to Yonge Street and Finch Avenue, where the deadly drive unfolded, but whether the location was chosen for a specific reason remains a mystery. Alec Manasjian, 25, of Richmond Hill, is charged in the deadly van massacre on Yonge Street in Toronto. LinkedIn. Interestingly, the van came to rest and Manasjian was arrested just steps away from a Canadian Forces recruiting centre at Yonge Street and Sheppard Avenue, where he would have signed up for the military and passed his testing before heading off to recruit training in August 2017, a career he asked to be released from after just 16 days. Renuka Amarasinghe, a single mom from Sri Lanka, was heading home to her 7-year-old son after her first day of work in the cafeteria at nearby Earl Haig Secondary School when she got caught up in the destruction. "It is with heavy hearts that we are learning of the death of a TDSB staff member whose life was tragically cut short during Monday's horrible events along Yonge Street," John Malloy, Director of Education for the Toronto District School Board, said Wednesday. "We are reaching out to her loved ones to support them in any way possible." Renuka Amarasinghe, who was killed in the April 23, 2018 van attack in Toronto, with her 7-year-old son Diane. GoFundMe. Amarasinghe, a former adult student hired recently by the TDSB to work in nutrition services, had no other family in Canada. A GoFundMe campaign, "Help Diane Have a Bright Future," has been set up to help with her son's care and future education. Renuka was a valuable member of CUPE 4400 and we are deeply saddened to learn of her passing, Union President John Weatherup said. "The thoughts of our entire CUPE 4400 family are with her family and friends at this incredibly difficult time." Victim of Toronto van attack Anne-Marie D'Amico. Facebook. Anne-Marie D'Amico, who worked for a US-based investment firm with a Canadian office on Yonge Street, volunteered at the Rogers Cup tennis tournament every summer since she was 12, starting out as a ball girl and eventually heading up its stadium control committee. "She was a really friendly, warm person, always caring for other people ahead of herself," remembers Gavin Ziv, Vice President of National Events for Tennis Canada. It's unclear why Chalmund Eddie Kong, a concept chef at Copacabana Brazilian Steakhouse on Adelaide Street W, was in North York that fateful day. Chalmund Eddie Kong was killed in the April 23, 2018 van attack in Toronto. "I just found out one of the victims from Monday's attack is my good friend Eddie," Kevin Panlilia wrote on Facebook. "I cannot believe this. I am crying as I am typing this. My heart is in pain, but I can't even begin to imagine how his wife and the rest of his family feel. He's a great soul who loves food and loves people," he added, urging others to seize the opportunity to spend time with those they care about. Munir al-Najjar, a Jordanian man in his 70s, traveled to Toronto with his wife for a month-long visit with his son, a vocalist and a director of the Arab Canadian Orchestra, when he was run down. Munir al-Najjar, a Jordanian man in his 70s, traveled to Toronto with his wife for a month-long visit with his son, a vocalist and a director of the Arab Canadian Orchestra, when he was run down on April 23, 2018. Harry Malawi, a family friend and president of the Jordanian Canadian Society, said the family is in the midst of a 3-day mourning period. "We stand together. We want to help the family heal. Physically, psychologically, emotionally and financially, they need all the help they can get," he said of al-Najjar's family members, who will need to arrange for his remains to be sent home. Betty Forsyth, whose photo now rests among the mountain of flowers left at a makeshift memorial in North York, is the eldest of the van attack victims. The 94-year-old was reportedly heading home to the North York Senior Centre after her daily walk when she was killed. A photo of Betty Forsyth is shown at a vigil on Yonge Street on Tuesday. Galit wrote in the Canadian press. A South Korean news agency has cited government officials as saying 2 Korean nationals were also among those killed, one of whom has now been identified as 23-year-old So Hae-chung, who worked as a sales associate at Holt Renfrew. So Hae-chung was killed on Yonge Street in the April 23, 2018 van attack. Facebook and Seneca College, where Min Asjin had been a student studying computer software development, has said one of their female students was killed. She was, along with 9 others, an innocent victim of this tragic act of violence, college president David Agnew said, releasing no details about the student's identity. 13 of the 14 injured have so far been named in court documents are Samon Samson, Samantha Pert, Morgan McDougall, Mavis Justino, Catherine Riddell, Alexandra Kozevenikova, Amir Kia Marcy, Yun Sheng Tian, Jun Sok Park, Amaresh Tesfamariam, Beverly Smith, Robert Anderson, and So Ra. As of Wednesday, 5 victims remained in critical condition in hospital and 3 others were still in serious condition. A vigil is planned for Sunday, starting at 7 p.m., at Mel Astman Square in North York, with files from the Canadian Press, produced at postmedia.com.